Welcome back to Adri's Homestead Life. Look what a treasure I have found literally a couple of miles away from our house. They are giant puffballs and they are absolutely delicious fried. Reminds me of my childhood. Honestly, that was years ago, possibly in my childhood when I had this last. But I cannot get this find just to disappear. When we found this lot, I thought I am going to pick these, take it home, and we're gonna have a massive preservation of these giant puffballs. So they are, how many got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've got some giga giant to medium size and on the smaller side. I'm going to give it a good wash and peel, and then we need to decide what we are going to do with it. I have already actually used up a few. So I've made this morning for breakfast. I sauteed it in onion, bit of oil in a frying pan, onion. I've diced the mushroom, put salt and pepper, garlic powder, and I've put some eggs over it, so made it like a scrambled egg, and with our goat's cheese on the top. It was delicious. I served it with green giant, green tomato, and I've made a sourdough naan with it. I've also made fried version, what is one of my favorite, you know, the flour, egg and breadcrumbs mixture, and just fry it in an oil in a frying pan. But I've been looking up so many recipes, so we're gonna have like a little series of these puffball recipes coming up, and I'm going to preserve some. When it comes to preserving, I am thinking about freeze drying some, so we can make like a mushroom powder. Also maybe cube and just store it in jars. Also I might blanch some and freeze it. I really enjoy creamy mushroom sauce, soup, so that could be some kind of, you know, that kind of ingredients for our fall and winter recipes. But there is so many. So if you're interested about this mushroom, you are welcome in my kitchen. We are going to freeze dry and we're going to blanch and freeze some of these today. It is gonna be a very long day, so if you are staying with me for the whole video, thank you so much. I am making breakfast, so we are gonna start with a mushroom breakfast and we're going to finish it with mushroom dinner. Might as well, today we are processing nearly 10 kilograms of giant puffball mushrooms. So I'm just sauteing. I've cut the mushroom, I've peeled it and cut it and diced it, and I'm just cooking it down, reduce it on that probably half of the size what it was, and I'm just going to season it, and we're going to pour over some eggs mixture, so it's like a scrambled egg, mushroom scrambled egg breakfast, and we're going to serve it with naan bread, sourdough naan bread, and some green giant homegrown tomatoes. Honestly, this breakfast was absolutely delicious. Both of us, me and Al, we thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's looking delicious as well. Look, enjoy. Okay, carry on peeling all of the rest of the giant puffball mushrooms. So I'm just cut the outside skin off. It's very smooth skin. Look how beautiful it looks inside. Absolutely gorgeous white color. It's very like a spongy kind of texture, light, so it's quite easy to work with. After I peeled them all, the mushrooms, some of them I cubed them, and some of them I've just sliced them up, like when you would slice a bread or cheese for fried cheese. And so the different shapes will go with different projects we are doing today. So with some of them we are going to blanch and freeze it, some of them make creamy mushroom sauce, and some of them we are just making like a mushroom steak with in fried flour, egg and breadcrumbs mixture. So the water in a big pot, it's nearly boiling, and I've been using this couple of inches in diameter diced mushrooms, and we're going to blanch it. In the meantime, I am preparing, it's like a steak size, the mushroom that's going to go to the freeze dryer. So again, like an inch and a half thick, just kind of my freeze dryer tray size, and I'm just going to slice this and fill. It won't take long to fill the freeze dryer trays, to be honest, friends. So that's perfect. And the rest I am cubing to be blanched and freeze. So I've got ice cold water ready here after the blanching, and then I'm just going to dry it as much as I can, and then I'm going to put it in a plastic bag and put it straight to the freezer. So I am started our project with some preservation before we go into the cooking stage. Well, not so much as cooking, but the next steak slices will go to flour, eggs and breadcrumbs mixture, and we're going to freeze them. And just keep peeling it. If it's a larger one, cut it in half. Look how beautiful, it smells divine. Smells so good. Sometimes you can peel them like that, but I'm just going to just cut like a thin layer of that skin. It's a very smooth skin. Before you pick any mushrooms, you need to be very careful and make sure you're familiar and you know exactly what you're picking. I'm not going to process all today. Some of them will go to the fridge, and probably we're going to do some more freeze drying the next couple of days. This is a very fun project. I also would like to make some creamy mushroom sauce with it, and we can perhaps freeze some of those and leave it out for dinner. This actually goes quite quick now. Leave the steak to the freeze dryer tray, and the rest we're gonna cube it. The water is now boiling, so I'm just going to put a whole dish full of this mushroom, and I'm going to blanch this for a couple of minutes. I'm not going to cook this, only going to blanch it. So wait until it comes back to a boil, and I'm just going to blanch it for a couple of minutes before we're going to put them in this ice cold water. In the meantime, I've turned the freeze dryer on, so in 15 minutes time we're going to load the freeze dryer with all these lovely mushroom steaks. It's like a little sponge. It's already, look how much it already shrunk. So now I'm removing all from this hot water, and I'm going to put now the rest in. Can you see the size difference now, how much they shrunk? Look. I'm gonna wait until the water comes back for a boil, and we're going to continue with the rest. I am ready to turn on the freeze dryer. We are using both of the freeze dryers. I am loading the first one all with the mushrooms, what we've just diced, sliced, and the other one it's mixture. Some of them are the tomato leftover peels, and some of them are some mushrooms in there. And just turn them on and see how it goes. Okay, both of the freeze dryer now is turned on, and I've just took some turkey mincemeat meatballs out of the freezer for tonight's dinner. Okay, the next job is to coat these lovely mushroom steaks into flour, egg and breadcrumbs mixture. Before I do that, I'm just going to fry both sides, like kind of seal it before we're going to put them in a butter mixture, like the breadcrumbs mixture. And the ends, I'm just going to dice it. And with this, we're going to make creamy mushroom sauce with. We are halfway in our big project. Look how, oops, yeah, just the usual accident. I was just gonna show you how beautiful this is looking. Honestly, the whole kitchen smells absolutely marvelous, wonderful. For the mushroom sauce, I'm gonna use some onions and shallots, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and sour cream. The sliced mushrooms, I'm just quickly fry it only for a minute on each side, kind of just sear it before we're going to put them in the flour, egg and breadcrumbs mixture. I'm just going to wait until this cools down. Oh, smells divine. And then I'm going to do the next step. I'm just literally sear it like a minute on each side. I have processed 10 kilograms of giant puffball mushroom today. This is the one what we just said and that needs to be dealt with in a minute. But before we do that, I've just took this out of the freezer now. They're not totally frozen, but I'm going to divide this in 3 freezer bags. I've put it on a freezer bags, the date. Well, I put September 2024 and puffed blanched, so I know. So I'm going to put this in here now. And I'm just, this right away goes back to the freezer. And we've got all this to deal with as well. So it is going to be a long day, but I know it's all worth it. We have definitely picked enough mushroom for the whole year. I'm tempting to freeze some without blanching, so we're just gonna have an experiment how that's gonna go. So I think I'm gonna do that. Let's get parchment paper. I got some. I did order some more parchment paper from Amazon. Not arrived yet, but absolutely love this free cup. Saved tons of time for me. And I just love it. Right. So let's do a bit more. Okay. And I'm gonna take this back to the freezer to flash freeze it a bit, and we're going to put this same like this to a freezer bag. Okay, so I have decided to do the breadcrumbs mix next. So I'm gonna use tapioca starch. I just dropped some eggshell. The dog's got it now. Tapioca starch, eggs, and homemade breadcrumbs. I'm just gonna put the breadcrumbs in here. Oh, I'm just getting a little bit tired now. Still lots to do. Still a couple of more hours left to do. Right, so let's put this out of the way because we're going to need this next. Okay, so I'm gonna use up probably all of these now. Garlic sourdough breadcrumbs. And garlic tandoori masala sourdough breadcrumbs. Let's put all this together. I'm gonna put a little bit of a garlic powder. Don't need garlic powder, it's got garlic in it already. Salt. And I'm just going to whisk that together. Just remember I took this meatballs out as well. I really work good under pressure. I like a challenge. And you're not gonna believe it, but I have planned a lot more job for today. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm gonna make some sweet chili sauce and some apple sauce as well. Okay, right. Now we are good. So, let's do this. So, tapioca starch, egg wash, and the breadcrumbs. And what I'm gonna do with these, most of these will go to the freezer, and then I'm just gonna fry it frozen when we would like. This mushroom steak. I leave a few out for tonight, for dinner, and possibly for the next couple of nights. Okay, I think I've got plenty here. There's loads of juice still coming out from these mushrooms. Okay, and let's just put it in an egg mixture and to the breadcrumbs. This will go fast. What I'm going to do with this now, I'm going to flash freeze it again. So as soon as we're done with all this, by that time, the mushroom, what we just took to the freezer, the diced one without blanching, that should be ready for that part that I can put it in a freezer bag. So I can use that tray, and I've got another one actually, to flash freeze these. And now Alan is on its way, so I'm gonna have to start peeling some potatoes. I'm gonna have chips and fried mushroom today. That won't take long, half an hour. Looks like fried cheese. Oh, actually, you know what I was gonna do? Put some nutritional yeast in it, because that got a little bit of like a cheesy flavour. I'm gonna do that now. I just remembered it. Yeah, let's add this to it. As an experiment, friends. You know I'm all about experiments. The reason I'm flash freezing these is just it's easier to store it, because if I would put this in a freezer now as it is, they would all stuck together, or I would have to, you know, separately package them. Would still probably stuck to the plastic bag. And if I flash freeze it, then I can put as many as I would like in one bag, and I'm only taking out that many what we need, so it's just so much easier and very convenient. Okay, let's get some more. I'm just gonna carry on do this until it's all done, and then we're gonna have dinner, and after dinner we'll come back and I'm gonna start making the mushroom sauce. And I might do that with the mushroom sauce. I probably freeze some, so it's gonna be like a freezer meal, and some it probably will be make it with like a pasta, so like kind of like a carbonara but with mushroom sauce. And I might do some pasta, mushroom sauce, and maybe some meat. That meatball would go in it nicely, that turkey meatball I just took out from the freezer. And I've still got some leftover marinara sauce from the canning day, you know. So I was thinking to make something with those as well this week. Maybe another pasta dish. And I really need to harvest the peppers. So that's gonna be another big project for us, friends. Pepper, chili again, And we've got lots of tomatillo to harvest. Make tomatillo salsa verde sauce. And before the frost we need to harvest more beans and the oca, sweet potatoes, so much still. I've got 2 weeks left. I'm hoping, anyway, before we're gonna have our first frost. And after that, I've got a massive surprise for you, friends. And we can start on our kind of like a winter project soon. So I was planning to make lots of skincare products, you know, crocheting, knitting, using the tag loom, making some rugs. So yeah, I think we're gonna have so much fun upcoming months. And just like that, this job is nearly done as well. I am ready to make the creamy mushroom sauce. So I chose to have this big pot. I'm gonna put some olive oil, a couple of tablespoons, so when just the bottom is nicely coated. I'll leave this for a few minutes until it becomes nice and translucent before we go to season it and put the mushrooms in it. While I've just chopped up the chips in the potatoes. And whoops, I've missed one. And I'm going to put this to the active fry. I'm going to check the freezer. Make sure the diced mushroom, but we're not blanched, it's ready to bag up. And I'm going to take one of this tray with me to the freezer while we're there. With the leftover breadcrumbs and egg mixture, I've decided to do these little bites, like a mushroom bites. So I'm going to fry some today, and I'm probably gonna flash freeze some of those as well. I wonder where I put my other tray. I've got another one as well somewhere. Aha! We used it up in a fermentation process. Maybe just put as much as we can on this one, and I fry the rest tonight. It's raining now all day, all night. Okay, let's put all these lovely mushroom in with the onion. That will cook down. You will see that will cook down for nothing. It looks like a whole pot of mushroom, but in the end it's gonna be probably half of it. I'll put a little bit more olive oil. That's another tablespoon, and salt and pepper at this stage. Teaspoon each for now. And give a good stir. Wow, that is a lot of mushroom, friends. Probably I should have done more onion. Never mind. Extra flavor. Maybe a half a tablespoon of onion and about a tablespoon of garlic. Maybe another tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm just going to put the lid back on and leave it to it. Okay, I took this out of the freezer, so that needs to be dealt with now. It's partially, not really, but a little bit maybe frozen. So I'm just going to label these freezer bags, today's date, what's in it, and I'm gonna put on blanched, so I'm gonna know the difference. So you can use this tray to put the rest of the steak, mushroom on it and flash freeze it. I'm gonna leave some out for tonight's dinner, so make sure I don't do the lot. We'll see how much we can put on it and I leave the rest out, I think. I'm also making bread as well and yogurt as well today. But yeah, the weather is, I won't be able to do anything outside, so I've chose a right day to do all day kitchen project today, to be honest. And we are getting towards the end now. It is 5 o'clock. I just need to do the creamy mushroom sauce now and prep dinner, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. And tomorrow I'm gonna make the apple sauce and the sweet chili sauce, and probably we're gonna do some cooking as well. Perfect. And this is tonight's dinner. Okie doke. I've put sour cream, milk, all-purpose flour and a bit of whey, salt, and just give it a good mix, whisk, and that goes over our mushroom. I've only got one more job to do to grate this lovely goat's cheese I've made a while ago now, and that can also go to the sauce. Don't necessarily actually have to grate it, I can just probably cut it, but it's okay. They like cheese. Want some loose? Bit of cheesy. Active fry is now on. I'm actually ready to fry these mushrooms as well, because Alan is nearly home. Perfect. Look at this beautiful goat's cheese. Let's try some. Amazing. Okay. Look how much this cooked down now. It's actually more than half. Right, I am ready to pour the milk mixture over. Give it a good mix. I don't think so we need more salt, because that cheese is very salty. I've just tasted it. But what I'm gonna put some nutmeg. And the cheese. Give it a good mix. And have a taste test. Okay, let's have a taste test. That's delicious. Wow. That is dough. I honestly cannot believe how much we've got done. I am tired now and it is nearly 6 o'clock, but dinner is now nearly ready. We've got 5 minutes and I'm gonna serve dinner and I'm just gonna have a rest. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today to process this huge 10 kilogram of giant puffball mushroom, and see you very soon. Bye friends! That is delicious.